take advantage of my position here as moderator of the conference. I would like to say, first of all, big thank you to all of you. You have been really inspiring. My concern, though, is that when we talk about the position of women inside the society on breaking the glass ceiling, I would probably be more happy if we would not be discussing about this topic at all, because that would become a reality. So there would be no reason to talk about reaching that goal, because the goal itself needs to be realized in its own self. It doesn't need to be discussed in getting there. So, Professor Moropoulou, you know you've actually went through many different stages in your life, in your career, as many of you have done. But the point is, where do you draw the line? Why does it need to be, as Minister Sofia Vultoup said, why does it need to be a red thin line between men and women when they go into the parliament? Greece, for example, is in an advantageous position as compared to other countries. We live in a democracy, so women do actually take advantage of their position to some extent, not to the full extent. But think about some other countries, like African countries, some Asian countries. Where's the position of women there? So I think this is a change of mentality that we need to bear in mind, rather than just talk about it. And unfortunately, I can only see only a few men here. I would prefer to see all these auditorium full of men rather than women. That would actually make a big difference. At least this is my personal impression. So, having said that, I would like to thank all of you. Professor Moropoulou will now be presenting some closing remarks. And then that will be the end of the two-day conference, the Women's Economic Forum, which actually took place in Athens for the very first time. So, Professor.
Mrs. Minister, dear colleagues, we are coming to an end of 2 days of discussion, which was transmitted to the world, and I hope to the national attendees as well. There were 433 registrations at this conference, even though partially attended the various sessions. They're checked in the 167, and the first day and the second 102. We had 56 speakers in the panels and 8 moderators. And it seems that apart from the quantitative aspect, that this conference shaked the waters. It was the first WEF, Women Economic Forum, GR, that means International Effort Performed in Greece, that took place in our country. And it is really very important that we are shaping this effort, we all of us, because this was a collective effort. The WICCI, the women of India and Greece, entrepreneurs and cultural organization took this initiative because the Indian founders of WEF, and thank you, Mrs. Gupta, you are here on their behalf, were the one to initiate this effort globally. And because Mrs. Sofianou, the President Emeritus of WICCI, had the courage to go through this effort with us at the first day we met at the Technical Chamber of Greece, and we said to her, go on, we will implement any joint decision. But the reason that we are here was not this occurrence. The reason was that in Greece, as very well my friend Sofia Vultepsi expressed it, there is a great gap to pay between women and men, especially on the level of leadership roles. And that's the problem. And it's not by chance that this problem, we have a conscience of this problem. Who? Especially the women that we are in leadership. And thank you very much, Sophia, for this notification. It's very important that we are not speaking because we are out from the advantageous people in this society. It is because we have the conscience that this reality is not a reality for all the women. Speaking loudly because they don't have the opportunities, they don't have the chances to go on by expressing their capabilities for leadership. However, that's the first reason that this is the first wave in Greece. The second reason is that today women are becoming a power at joining innovation and technology that are addressing the climate crisis of the world, poverty, and endangering peace. This is a fact. It is not by chance that the Greek Prime Minister was represented here by the Deputy Minister of Innovation within the Ministry of Development, Mrs. Zoe Rapti, and that she presented initiatives about innovation and women. It is not only a strategic conception. It is not only a political necessity. It is a fact. This fact was made understandable through all these sessions of the 7 panels that took place within this conference. And I will try to assess and evaluate what happened within this, the panels that we organized. Women entrepreneurs and initiatives for sustainable development. The first panel, we were writing in order to give our concept where to go with the discussion. Women entrepreneurs play a vital role in promoting sustainable development by leveraging innovative approaches and creating businesses that prioritize environmental and social responsibility. Their initiatives often address pressing global challenges, from climate change to poverty alleviation, demonstrating the potential of women-led ventures to drive sustainable economic growth and create lasting community impact. All the important speakers, may I have your program, please? Thank you. All the important speakers that participated really fitted in this concept And they developed it, and they gave their own opinions and perspectives. In the first panel, we had as keynote speaker Sofia Kounenaki Efremoglu, the president of the Athens Chamber of Commerce and Industry. The panel was moderated by Maria Nicolciu, the journalist, while the whole conference was moderated by Yannis Moutsios. And thank you, Yannis, you were every moment here. The panelists were Efi Tritopoulou, president of the Greek Women's Engineering Association, EDEM, within the Technical Chamber of Greece. Glikeria Sciouti, president of Public Law and Environmental Law, National and Kapodistrian University of Athens, co-founder and managing partner of Flogaitis law firm. Athina Hadjipetru, former CEO of Hellenic Development Bank. Evgenia Giannini, associate professor at National Technical University of Athens. Irene Notias, founder and director, Project Connect. And Laurie McNeil, international media marketing and branding expert. They actually presented a paradox, which I will note. The paradox that, on the one hand, women are prevailing in low-tech firms, and they don't have interest in making profit. On the other hand, and this is contradicting, that women are leading high-tech firms with environmental aims, mainly, but not only, complying with digital and green transition. And they are, as Sofia Vultepsi noticed as well, making profitable, more and more profitable, these firms. That means that we have a diversified profile of women leading entrepreneurial sector. Diversified profile, for profit or for non-profit, for high-tech or for low-tech. Women are there, and they are changing dramatically the pattern of entrepreneurship. In the second panel was dealing with education and training, empowering and preparing women for leadership roles. Education and training are, and that was the context of the discussion, are crucial for empowering women and equipping them with the skills necessary for leadership roles. By fostering both personal and professional development, educational programs can help women break through barriers, build confidence, and cultivate the competencies required to excel in leadership positions across various sectors, ultimately contributing to greater gender equality and diverse perspectives in decision-making processes. All the distinguished speakers here, starting with Ioanna Litrivi, the Deputy Minister for Education, who actually invited us to enrich with women participation the opening of the educational system to society. After this, all the speakers in a panel moderated by Zefi Dimadama, professor and journalist of political science and journalist, She was a former Secretary General for Gender Equality, I think, as well. However, the panelists, Maria Cucellini, I won't read again all the titles, I will say a few words. She is the president of the Quality Assurance and Accreditation of Higher Education in Cyprus. Maria Tsakiri, the Dean of Serving Engineering School at the National Technical University of Athens. Christiana Pyrasmaki, who is an educator and Vice President of the EcoCity Board. Dimitra Tsourmakliotou, who is the President of the Board of Directors at Iraklion International Airport. Stella Kokolis, teacher of high school and college, founder and co-founder of many Greek American associations. Silvana Chrysakopoulou, associate professor, University of Ioannina. Magdalini Krokida, National Technical University of Athens, professor and member of the board of lifelong lasting education. And Tonia Arachova, representative of the Greek Ministry of Education concerning the European Commission Group for Cultural Heritage Data Common Space. All these important speakers actually rationalized the need for an educational system that will not reproduce the stereotypes of a man-dominated society and education system. And they actually documented the fact, also the former rector of Pantheon University, my friend Ismini Kriari, presented this, that a very few women are breaking the glass ceiling, which is actually keeping women aside from handling in their hands the strategies of universities. And this is not very easy to be admitted. It's not very easy because that seems that even though scientists is having a rationale, what we say in Greece, orthos logos, in this case, it is the power of power that is dominating. And that we didn't break this off. That means exclusion and discrimination are still domaining, even at the higher education. Of course, we had very happy exams, like the one from the EcoCity for non-formal education of mass of students and civilians towards environmental concerns. And that is where freedom goes with education and knowledge. However, I'm keeping these two facts as our response to Ioanna Litrivi for an open educational system to society. Is it open? It depends on women as well. The third panel, Women for Health and Social Care. We were writing, women have long been at the forefront of health and social care, driving improvements in community, well-being, and access to essential services. Through their compassionate leadership and expertise, women contribute significantly to health systems, promoting holistic care, preventive measures, and addressing social determinants of health. Their involvement is crucial for advancing health equity and shaping effective health policies that prioritized diverse community needs. And it was actually in this direction that the speakers developed their own views. Anna Battistatou, the rector of the University of Ioannina and professor at the medical school, has set on the table her opinion that women are actually serving the needs for exercising at a holistic level the medical profession. And at the same time, she was speaking of ενιαία υγεία. That means a unified or integrated health, integrated with environment, to be in harmony with environment, which is an absolutely new concept. And all the important speakers, Penelope Manoussou from professor at Imperial College, Theodora Psaltopoulou, professor at UA, Amanda Psiri, professor at UA, and at the same time chair of the European Society of Medical Oncology, Konstantina Nikita, professor of artificial intelligence at the National Technical University of Athens, and WICCI Klimi, co-founder and CEO of Grandmama. They developed, through their opinions, major issues concerning the need to break barriers. Like, for instance, they pinpointed out the need that documentation of health data has to register male-female data in different classification, because if not, the artificial intelligent elaboration of the big data of the national health system is leading to fake conclusions and fake diagnostics. This is a major danger. It's not only discrimination, it is endangering the functions of the health system. And another issue, very important, that a gynecologist should be something more than 20% accounting for women medical functionaries. It should be more, so as to be in compatibility with women, their feelings and their needs. And not only that, but a very important issue, the help at home, first level help, as was clear from the Grandmama example, it is requiring in massive operations of education of nurseries to include women. The fourth panel, shipping towards energy and technology transformation. We were writing, the shipping industry is undergoing a significant transformation driven by the need for energy efficiency and technological advancement. By adapting innovative practices, alternative fuels, and digital solutions, the sector can reduce its carbon footprint and enhance operational efficiency. This transition not only addresses environmental concerns, but also positions the industry as a key player in the global movement towards sustainable and responsible trade practices under the leadership of women, I should add, because we didn't write this. And the truth is that the shipping sector in Greece is playing, concerning the ship owners, a prevailing role in the world. We are the first, in the first row. And this first row is representing ship builders by women. They are the presidents and the representatives of την Ελληνική Ένωση Εφοπλιστών, the Greek Association of Shipbuilders all around the globe. However, in this panel, the Deputy Minister of Environment and Energy, Mrs. Alexandra Sdoukou, presented the strategical plan of Greek government to green the marine fleet of Greek trade around the globe. It was planned that the moderator would be the journalist Antonis Karagiannakis, since he was with COVID at home. I was obliged to moderate this panel as a panel, let's say, of technocratic, but finally not only character. The important speakers, Feis Elimi Kremlis from United Nations Environmental Commission on Environment, Liana Guta, Director General of Fuels Europe and Concave, Dora Tsiourva from the National Technical University of Athens, the School of Naval Architecture and Marine Mechanical Engineering, and at the same time member of the International Ship Structure Committee, Aphrodite Xidi, Executive Director of DEON Policy Institute, Styliani Rissaki, President and Chief Executive Officer of Megatechnica SA, a shipyard in Attica, and Vasilis Vasiliadis, naval engineer at the NTUA, President of the Pan-Hellenic Association of Shipyards and Arsenal, traditional shipyards. They presented the case that greening shipping by inserting green fuels in their operations requires as well the restructure of the mechanical establishment of the shipping in order to perform with the new fuels. And at the same time, this is leading to new naval plans design. That means to optimize the way that these shipping vessels are floating in the oceans. That means an overall transformation. And in this transformation, the marine industry has to play a crucial role. So we were astonished when we understood through the fact that a shipyard owner like Mrs. Rissaki was saying, we cannot survive. We could not be viable because there are financing obstacles. There is a replenishment of funds, and there is no way to keep up with our Greek identity. The same importance had the call by the president of the traditional shipyards to save traditional shipyards. And the fact that he entrusted this call to WEF, and he exerted this from Athens, he conveyed it to the world, was an important fact that saying the sensibility of women could support this call, because the 300 traditional shipyards that were proved to be resilient for the 200 years they operated in the Greek area are today arriving due to licensing problems, short-term and high prices contracts are arriving to become 60 to 70. And at this time, most of the traditional shipyards at the frontiers with Turkey are closing in all of our islands. That means this call has a critical meaning for all of us. And at least I was proud to have been entrusted in this call from the WEF. Panel discussion 5, cultural assets and alternative tourism for sustainability. That was the first panel of today. We were writing, cultural assets and alternative tourism offer unique opportunities to promote sustainability while preserving heritage and fostering local economies. By focusing on authentic experiences, responsible travel practices, and community engagement, since the revealing of cultural heritage and alternative tourism can help mitigate environmental impacts and support cultural preservation, creating a more equitable and enriching travel experience for visitors and host communities alike. Minister Olga Kefalogianni, the Minister of Tourism, gave her message from WEF that Greece is having the vision and is planning to implementing this vision towards alternative tourism, empowering not only women, but environmental and cultural resources as the basis for local and sustainable development. After this, the important panel, which was moderated by journalist Konstantinos Deriziotis, was presenting many aspects of this sphere of interest, with Minaidis, former Deputy Secretary General of the Organization of World Heritage Cities from Rhodes, with Eleni Maistru, Professor Emeritus at NTUA, President of the Council for Architectural Heritage of ELET, Amalia Androulidaki, Director General concerning Museums and Restoration of Monuments at the Ministry of Culture, Konstantina Svinou, President of the Institute for Tourism Research and Forecasts, Emanuela Moussama, Experience and Communication Director at Antonis Moussamas SA and founder of the Dynam as Peace Against Violence, and with my participation as well. In this panel, it was each one complementary to the other, and we all described how, by revealing cultural and environmental resources, there could be developed alternative tourism products and could serve for sustainable local development. That was an issue that goes 40 years back, when the concept for sustainable development was presented and was approved by international organizations, UN, UNESCO, OECD, EU. But it is today, after 40 and more years, that all this conceiving the future aspects are being implemented. And the reason is climate crisis and over-tourism. In the sixth panel, innovation for green and digital transition. Innovation is essential for achieving a successful green and digital transition. Women in science and engineering have embraced cutting-edge technology and sustainable practices in business and communities to foster resilience, to reduce environmental impact, and to enhance holistic approaches. This transformative journey not only tackles climate change, but also aligns with the digital era and fosters economic growth and sustainable development through renewable energy initiatives and sustainable digital solutions. In this panel, where Alexia Tassouli, journalist, was acting as moderator, Phoebe Koundouri was the keynote speaker. She is a professor at the Economic University of Athens, but at the same time, she is a member and was representing all the UN plans and strategies for area. That means for environment and economical aspects of the global euphoria, which is serving for sustainability, the UN. And after a very exhaustive presentation, all the important panel made some complementary positions to this. Maria Loizidou from the National Technical University of Athens about the circular economy and how to manage sewage waste, solid waste, and others in a way that we would improve not only environmental protection, but circular economy to come to really to real decarbonation. Margarita Karavasili from the EcoCity, member of the Board of Directors and previous Secretary General of the Ministry of Environment, discussed about circular economy in the built environment and the cities. And Betty Haralambopoulou, CEO and Director of the European Association of Remote Census Companies, as well as member of the UN for the geoinformatics, combating with climate crisis, presented her experience from the point of view of geoinformatics and how space technologies are equipping the globe with tools to monitor the level of damage after the climate crisis in order to prevent it. And the Klios Gouropoulou, professor at the University of Western Attica, presented the case of informatics. And she claimed that there has to be a twin transition simultaneously, digital and green transition, because digital doesn't go without green direction, and green direction requires digital transformation. At the same time, highlighting the intensity that develops contradictions between these two processes and suggesting how to couple with that. And Dominique, I don't recall her name, from she's a CEO of a company of technology who is dealing with green and digital transition, sorry to say. Dominique Delporte-Vermeiren, art curator at South France. She presented her case as a case study, exerting how this twin transformation could go on. I could say that all these three panels, the fourth, the fifth, and the sixth, are not panels dealing with women, are panels dealing with what I said in the beginning, that innovation and technology are required, and they are transforming the world today on various spheres of reality in order to tackle climate crisis. The important is that women are acting in the first roles in all these directions. Not only the women we invited, but the women actually. And this is measured because even though that women are no more than 38% today in these scientific branches like environment, for instance, even though so, they are most dynamic because they are having capabilities like to adapt in changing environments under risk. They have creativity. They have understanding, because compassion means understanding of human resources and of public conceivment. And they have the capability to lead these transactions. That was proven. So I was really very happy when we came to the seventh panel, the panel that is here with us today, which was moderated by Mrs. Balzaki, and thank you very much for the interesting, your interesting speech and very nice English. I dare to speak in front of you. I don't mind if I mistake. So here, Sofia Zacharaki, the Minister of Social Cohesion and Family Affairs, presented her case that we don't need to save women. We need to save society through promoting women. And she actually explained through the measures of her ministry how to do so. I won't repeat the distinguished panelists here, but I will say that for me, it was a happy moment that you actually concluded with all what you said. My friend Vicky Bafataki presented the scenarios to the cinephiles with this historic phrase that you cannot speak on my behalf. I'm doing and I'm speaking. Sisi, who is a very important lady, Vice President of the Hellenic Council of State, said, we are not here for women, but because women can infer to justice and can restore justice. That was great to me. Then Sofia Lambropoulou from National Technical University of Athens and the related committee with gender equity explained to us how difficult it is for a woman to perform as you presented, and I don't need to read again what is the context of the panel discussion 7, to balance career with family. And that apart from this, it is very difficult to go on because the obstacles are intrinsic and extrinsic, and that's a great problem. Of course, the former rector of Pantheon University, and yet very active everywhere, my friend Ismini Kriari, she gave us some hopes, but even these hopes are not diminishing exclusion, discrimination, and depreciation that women are facing acting in public spaces like the public universities they defend first, but they are discriminated. And of course, Sofia Vultepsi added a new dimension. And this dimension is important. Of course, she submitted this dimension to a general struggle, but it's a great dimension that women with conscious approach to the women affairs, women that had succeeded in getting leadership positions, have to struggle more for other women to become in their posts as well, and to broaden this power structure from the old stereotypes to a new direction. And she gave name to this new direction. This is the political name with which you will permit me to close these concluding remarks. This is freedom, democracy, and equality. So with this, I would like to express my gratitude, first of all, to the team of co-organizers, the steering committee, the International Steering Committee of WICCI, expressed by Katerini Sofianou, Aurora, and chaired by Fofi Dimopoulou, and all our co-workers, and you were succeeding to organize this conference. Thank you very much. The International Advisory Committee, or Scientific Committee, which is comprised of national and international figures, I do thank all of them very much, and all the distinguished speakers that accepted to give their own presence to the featuring this conference. And of course, the honorary committee, my friend Yannis Chrysoulakis, he's exhausted. He's not here, but he's a pillar, believe me. So the honorary committee, which supported all the international extroversy, especially to many entities that were named, and they gave this international character, apart from the speakers, to this conference. Of course, I want to thank all the sponsors, the co-organizers, Technical Chamber of Greece, all the international, Greek international entities that supported this organization. And thank you very much once again, Yannis Moutsios, for your inspired moderation. And thank you all of you for being here. We opened a chapter. This has to be repeated, but in a way that it will be meaningful. Not tomorrow morning. we won't be bored, even among us, by speaking for women. We have to act. We have some basic positions and basic directions today, not only us, and the power structure and all the structures. We will see, and we will come back. Thank you very much.
Now, before we conclude this really interesting two-day conference, I would just like to invite Ms. Ioannina Dimopoulou, the WEF Steering Committee and WICCI GR alternate member, to present these awards and the memorabilia, starting with you, Katerina, and then all of the ladies that will actually take place here. Οπότε, one at a time. Yeah. Όχι, όχι. Είναι φωτογραφία εκεί. May I have your attention, please? I would personally like to thank all of you for making me part of this, but I would personally like to thank Evangelia Samuili and Fofi Dimopoulou, with whom I have worked really closely for realizing this event, as well as the whole steering committee, and Ms. Sofianou for giving us the initiative, making this a reality. So we hope to see you again whenever this happens. And we just hope to be more the next time and make things, become reality rather than just theory. So thank you very much. So if you just like to take a family photo first.